Hola, welcome back. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Hypnicity. I figured I'd just go ahead and turn it on early today. So we'll wait for everybody to come on in from the other one. I know it's a little awkward, but I figured that way is easier. Ice is your best friend. I know, right? Yesterday I was actually back on my crutches. I couldn't believe it. My knee kind of went funky monkey on me yesterday morning. So yesterday kind of coupled up. I rewatched Saturday's replay. Pretty bad. It's better than it was yesterday. Yeah, yesterday was pretty terrible. So I went back. Yeah, it put me back on my crutches. I couldn't believe it. Wasn't even the one that got injured last year. But yeah, I ended up rewatching Saturday's video twice, which was very helpful, truthfully. That's so pretty. Oh, I knew. And I know I keep repeating it. It's just I like people to know, so it's not just an inside joke. But the wa is Lemuria's principle of first love. Wawa, much love. Wawa nui, much love to everyone. And now, if you've heard it, it's your inside joke too. Hi, Paul. How you doing today? Oh, hello, inner knowing. Oh, that's so sweet. Annie Bear, though, you said you were reaching for ice, so does that mean your neck is not doing that awesome either? It's interesting that there has been some, it's one of those things where I don't really want to give credence to it, or energy, I should say. So it's just simply been making sure that the focus stays on what I do want to grow. But there has been some real wobbles in the field. And I would say that the light workers are really being put through the mill at the moment. So let's see. Just got back. Paul got back from spending mucho bucos at Sam's Club, prepping up for snacks for his cousin, his nephew Liam for the summer. Actually, that's not too bad if it's gonna last the whole summer. Aw, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Yeah, you guys liked it at that time, right? Yeah, it was. Saturday's video was evanescent and helpful. Hello, Rossi. I'm so glad that was helpful for everybody. Yeah, hi, Lori Hunsinger. Like I said, I was going to do it with my own knees, so might as well. Okay, my neck is improving, shoulder is worse. Sometimes, Annie Bear, with this, you end up compensating and you don't realize that oops, it jumped. That's funny. Hi, Lauren. But what I was saying is sometimes you end up compensating and you don't realize that you're compensating until the initial pain is gone from the initial site. And then you realize all of it's called compensation. And it's surprising how much your body does that naturally, where it's just, well, let's say, for instance, like on the case of my back, I damaged my knee because I was flinging really heavy saddles for 2 days in a row, and I'm not used to it. I'm just not toughened up to it right now. And so it really was the insertion point on my lower back that got upset. And so it ended up going into my right knee. And yet, whenever I was working the kinks out of the right knee, I discovered that my left knee was not very happy either. So, yeah, I heard the Schumann charts are high. I think with the Schumann's, it's coming and going. It's coming through in waves. Because sometimes I felt the pulses coming through. Basically, what I'm planning to do today we'll probably be walking over some more of the energy healing again. Yeah, well, swooshing, thank you. I appreciate that. We'll be doing some more energy healing today. So bring all your aches and pains. We will be working over it again. And this time I'm definitely going to be walking us through a bubble technique. And I will be doing some Lemurian coding as well. If it's my neck, chances are my throat chakra is blocked. Some of it's throat chakra, because there have been attacks that have been coming and going. And then others is been, there are some challenges for, I don't know how to frame it. Some of it's like cooties that are in the air. I mean, everybody always thinks in terms of winter colds, but we're coming up on one of the big, in America, we're coming up on one of the big holiday weekend things. And it usually kicks off summer, the Memorial Day weekend. And sometimes whenever the people get together, you end up with these summer colds too. Because like on Saturday, whenever I was working, there was a little bit of somebody fighting with their, um, uh, yeah, they were fighting the cooties. They had just a little bit for you have lymph glands that sit underneath the throat. And so it will swell and we got it chased out of there. So let's see what we got here. This is a big block of text. I repeat what Keone said. I complete the trauma of loss. I just noticed that when I do that within hours, aspects of myself have returned to my heart. Oh, that's beautiful, Lady Bear. You know, sometimes I visualize an octopi because when we have fractured ourselves over the course of our lives, even though we think that we have completely shut that door, we're all still connected to the central body itself. It's like we've tossed a tentacle out there into the world. Let's see what's going on for Lori Huntsinger. I'm having body compensation. I know, that's wonderful. A happy release, though. Son came over to eat dinner last night. That's the first time in 3 years. Oh, that's beautiful, Lori. I'm so happy. I feel like something is going to happen in June or July. Big, could be wrong. Well, actually, Paul, funny you should say that. I don't know if anybody saw my post yet today, but what I can tell you is this is the last week of Totoroa. That will be the full pure week of Totoroa. We'll have a couple of days next week of Totoroa, which is the 12th month. And then June 1st for the Lemurians is our New Year, our Happy New Year. So we will be rolling over into 2026 on June 1st. So it's kind of a big deal. We say goodbye. We're seeing the whale tail go down. And then we will begin the rising energies then for Lemuria. Yeah, which is pretty way cool. What can you share with us about AI? You know, it's fascinating because last week I was talking about Michio Kaku, and they have utilized the quantum computers, and they created the quantum chip. I don't think that they've been able to replicate the quantum chip of the Sycamore chip. They do have another one in space that is holding the fort down, as it were, and that is the Willow chip. I've also heard of the Prometheus. And at the moment, they have slowed it down and they put it on ice because what happened was in the 70s, as a species, we all got together, we made a golden disc, a record, and then we sent it out with Voyager to see if we were alone in the universe or not. And Voyager has traveled to the edge of our universe. It sent back and is continuing to send back data. And that's what the AI was being created for, was to get in there and to try to analyze all of this data that came back. And basically the void stared back at us. They had an image of the Sycamore trip that came through, and it was a humanoid that came in, and it created alterations in the brains from what was said. The only thing that they had relayed was that it altered the people that looked upon the image, altered their frontal cortex and the pineal gland. And that was all that they had said. They basically got their brains rewired. And that's AI. We do have the Michio Kaku fellow, that he did say it correctly. He said, look, you've actually got two different operating systems going on. The AI that we currently have, what it's doing is a glorified version of, we used to say garbage in, garbage out. And that was the old term in the computer systems in the 1960s and the 1970s. And what that means is it's a closed system. It is a software system. And so what it is doing is almost like a mirror. And so if the person put that out there onto the internet and their information was incorrect, then what the machine's going to spit back to you will be incorrect. It's up to you to take, kind of like what hypnoticity is saying, take on board whatever is good for you and what's working for you, and then just leave the rest of it. So it's while it can be beneficial, it is it's what you make of it, very much so. And it can be said the same thing of anything on Earth. You know, when cars first came along, horses hated them. There's a whole bunch of people that were not fond of the idea of cars. And over time, we have learned to either live with them, or in the case of like some of the Amish and the Mennonite and the Hutterites, they have shunned it. So we make our choices. Yeah. Okay, so let me see. How is it the core of this and the Earth and the meteorites? Because it's all the same systems. It's all the same thing. Yep, AI is like that. AI is a tool, you know, and sometimes it can be very beneficial. I've asked a few questions of the AI simply because it's allowed me to see different viewpoints, and to be able to communicate quite differently with people. I do know that people hear things in their own version of communication that helps them to understand things better. So sometimes it's better if you can frame that in a way that they can understand. They're making another, oh, come on. They're remaking E.T., this one next year or the year after. That's sad, actually. I really wish they'd leave some of the iconic movies alone. I know it's pathetic because we're kind of all do repeats. I'm sure some of our movies in the 70s and the 80s were probably just regurgitations from plays from the 30s and 1930s, but still, E.T. was pretty unique, so I wish they'd leave it alone, but oh heavens, I can't begin to imagine how they're going to make that relatable. E.T. was a real standalone. My mama kitty is causing infighting among the rest of the kitties, probably because she's a mama right now. So she's got 3 baby kitties, but her protectiveness is affecting absolutely everyone. Carl, is there any way that she could be in her own room or space or closet, so that she could be a little calmer about the situation? Sometimes with the mothers, especially if she's just given birth, they can be really over the top protective, especially if there are males around. Not to be mean, but sometimes the males can eat the babies and then they're doing that so that they could go ahead and rebreed. Nope. Okay. She's hiding under my bed. That's not such a bad space for her to be in. What I thought we would do is, she's right there anyways, we'll go ahead and yeah, she's been bullying everybody. She'll tone it down over time. Yeah, I love E.T. There are so few. I know, right? This is just it. That they need to just leave things alone. I felt the same thing about Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters, whenever it came out in the 80s, was so unusual. The theory that AI has been there all along freaks me out. Oh, I'm so sorry, Carl. But yeah, it is all remakes. Well, let's do some Lemurian coding here, and then we're going to hop over and do some energy healing. And hopefully that will help to calm down Carl's kitty cat. We're going to bring up some slides here. So do this. Ha 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 ha. Perfect. So start off with some Lemurian light technology here. By that, we're going to definitely do some coding. I'm just kind of listening through to hear what we're going to do. Okay, I got it. We're going to do a full set today. Actually, I'm hearing even more than that. We're going to do a full set, and then we're going to dial through what's called everybody's chakra system, which reminds me, I hope Utica's okay. Haven't heard from her for a while. But yeah, we're going to dial through everybody's chakra system, which is called the Kaha system in Lemuria. Tihe, Hori, Hora, Mahaka watahi ite ingawa, Te to iri te o to pono. Wai o tapu. Ite inwa te whenui troni te kitao. Wai o tapu. Ite inwa te whaia tama tua te tama. Wai o tapu. Tihe ori ora. E te I a. U pe o. U pe a. I. Ul. O ep. Tona nu ma. Il. Ai. Hakta. Toro papote hituma kakima. Kakika. Naro. Hawa tu takima takika tai tu. Te hu. Po. Okay, now we're going to do the Kaha system, and we're going to combine that with the net of Maui. What this is going to do is any negativity or gunk, like lower frequency stuff that might be hanging out in your chakra system, in your aura, your energy field, this is going to remove the negative energy, and it can also bring in positive aspects. It can bring in gifts. So we're going to start off with Ma'ika, te kupinga Maui. Pairua, te kupinga Maui. Te ariki, te kupinga Maui. Te naro, te kupinga Maui. Te nira, te kupinga Maui. Aki, te kupinga Maui. Te ko, te kupinga Maui. Ma tako, te kupinga Maui. Tawahi, te kupinga Maui. Toi, te kupinga Maui. Muki, te kupinga Maui. Ma'ita, te kupinga Maui. Ma'ita, te kupinga Maui. Taro, te kupinga Maui. Muki, te kupinga Maui. Toi, te kupinga Maui. Tawahe, te kupinga Maui. Tako, te kupinga Maui. Ma tako, te kupinga Maui. Maki, te kupinga Maui. Te nira, te kupinga Maui. Te naro, te kupinga Maui. Te ariki, te kupinga Maui. Ma'irua, te kupinga Maui. Ma'ita, te kupinga Maui. Gorgeous. Well done, everybody. Oh, beautiful. Falcon just sat right outside on my deck, listening just now within 7 feet. That's beautiful. Yeah, kitty, post kitty hormones. You're welcome. My dog's ears and heads are going up and down. Okay, well, one of the things I really wanted to do is we're going to do our bubble technique. I just wanted to walk this through for everybody so that we could remember how to do this. Ooh, gorgeous. Just had lunch with 2 juvenile woodpeckers. Oh, so sweet. So for the people out there, we're going to be walking through the bubble technique right quick. And we're going to do this so that people can remember how to use this, because the psychic attacks that are coming through, some of the lower frequency attacks that have been coming through, it can be very helpful to remember to put our bubbles in here. And the bubbles, like you're seeing on here, they can be many different colors. So hang on a second, we have our sirens coming through. Chop. Okay, there they go. And as you can see, for the visualization, one of the things, if you feel like somebody is attacking you, you can utilize a silver colored bubble. It can be stainless steel, silver, but basically that silvery color, that grayish silvery color. Or the other one that you can do is you can pick out something that's reddish and pinkish or green even, and have it go with a love bubble, because they cannot go love or above the entities that will do the attacking. So if you're feeling like you're being attacked, I love to do that mirrored color bubble myself, because what that does is that bounces whatever that negativity is. You don't have to do anything. You just pop yourself right into that bubble, and it just bounces it right back to sender. It just returned to sender. And it's the same thing with the love bubble, because you're going to be contained in the bubble of love. And so they can't actually penetrate that. If they want to, they can wade into the love part. That's fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have, this is for people mostly, but our critter friends, of course, can hang along for this one. And then after we do this one, then we're going to switch over and I'm going to be doing some of the energy healing as well. So I remember that the silver bubble, as opposed to the reason why you could use this as well if you have that in mind, Carl, where the violet flame burns up any of the outside attacks. You can use that, and I would highly recommend whatever instantly comes to you to use that. But I like the silver bubbles for myself. But if you're using a violet flame and that feels more comfortable to you to burn that up, use that instead. So with people, what I want you to do is go ahead and look up and then gently close your eyes. And we're going to imagine a light coming from above. Let it be whatever color it wants to be. And let it reach the top of your head. And begin bathing down all through your head, your forehead, your eyes, down around your ears, your nose, your teeth, mouth, tongues, sliding all the way down through your throat, your neck, into the shoulders, off the shoulders, onto your arms, that light bathing through your elbows, forearms, through your wrists, hands, and out through Mother Earth. Now back up on your shoulders. We're going to see this light teeming all the way into your chest, into your heart space and the lungs. Beautiful. Well done. Down through the diaphragm and power wash, turn up the volume. Power wash it all the way through your tummy, down your back, into your lower back, into your hips, through your tushy, your thighs, through your knees, calves and shins, down through the ankles, through your feet, through the soles of your feet, and out through your toes into Mother Earth. Now keep that light going from above. And you're going to imagine another light coming up from below. This is going to be from Mother Earth, and she's going to bring it up through your feet. And allow that other colored light. It can be the same color as above, or it can be a different color. Imagine that light coming up through your feet, your ankles, up through your calves and shins, up through your knees, up through your thighs, up through your hips, up through your tummy, pushing all the way up through your diaphragm and into the heart space, so that both of these lights are meeting above and below in your heart space. Now allow this to form a bubble, and then expand that bubble out all the way around you. Step into the bubble. And you can let it be 3 feet, 5 feet, 15 feet or more. And you'll feel it sneak into place wherever it's comfortable for you. So it's just you in this bubble of light. I find this really helpful for whenever we are going into a space where there's going to be a bunch of other people. So like if you're going to the grocery store or the post office or the mall, or you're gathering with your friends to go to the coffee shops, anywhere that you're going to be bumping into other people. And for those people that are really sensitive, you can go ahead and put another bubble of protection around the first bubble. You can even set a third bubble if you need, so that only the highest frequencies are coming in. Beautiful. And the nice thing about it is the colors can change, and try to allow them to be whatever color they want to be, because they do change depending on what you need throughout that day. Did Jane sneak in on us? How pretty. I'm seeing a purple, red, yellowy so far. Oh, that's wonderful. inner knowing. Jane is Huna Hamanisa. And that's part of why I display the name as well. It's helpful for people to hear the names and to see the names because it's also working energetically on and activating your DNA. Beautiful. Okay. So now we're going to open the floor up and we'll see if anybody needs some extra energy healing. I got to say for myself, now that we've done all the balancing, it's kind of already done some of its job, but we'll see if anybody needs some energy work now. Start off at the base of the neck and the base of the skull and the neck. And just let me know as I go along. I don't know if Randy made it in here or not. I think I saw her earlier. But if anybody's got any neck trouble, we're at the base of the neck right now. I'm just going to zip right through our meridians right quick. The beautiful woodpeckers. Yeah, mine are stellar blue jays, and we have some scrub blue jays as well. And of course, you're seeing on the screen right now our furried and feather friends, and the wildlife does this too. They're helping to support us right now. In and around the shoulders right now. Remember, Annie Bear said something about her shoulder was kind of achy. That was the right hand side. There we go. Lower back. Sure, I'll get there, Rossi. At the moment, I'm on the right shoulder and the right ball joint. And the nice thing is that this is what's going to work for our puppies, our kitties, any of the birds that are hanging around right now. They're also going to be tuning into this and getting what they need. Arthritis. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this week, for whatever reason, just kind of really monkey stomped everybody with the arthritis and the joints and the. I couldn't really tell if it was a matter of just the energies that were coming in and we were shutting off some of the old carbon-based systems, or if it was just the arthritic aches and pains that sometimes come from, just normal wear and tear, or if it was a transmutation thing. Sometimes it felt like a transmutation thing, and then other times it felt like a different thing that was going on. So I guess it could be all things. You're so welcome. Yeah, I know, right, Rush? It has been awful lately. Oh, baby, right hip. Absolutely, Sandra Dahl. Right now I'm still working on the right shoulder joint, the ball joint, and the top of the shoulder blade. And we'll just be going over all the meridians. In fact, somebody's got some congestion up at the top. And so that's, the energy flow is just not, sometimes what will happen is if we get an actual physical, let's say somebody smacks their shoulder hard, that causes congestion, it causes the energy to pinch and back up behind it, which can lead to energy flow troubles, which is kind of what I'm feeling around that shoulder blade right now. So we're going to go down to the right elbow. If you're sensitive to energy, you may feel me. I heard an ouch, sorry. But what we're going to do is we're going to start working the energy down through the arm from the shoulder to the elbow. And then we will be going from the elbow out through the fingertips. We're going to hold that from the spine. So it's on the right arm. We'll be doing the left arm here in just a few. Just going to wait for that energy to move. There it goes. Okay, now it's going down to the wrist. So we're going to take it from the shoulder through the wrist. You can wiggle your fingers a little bit. Also, if you're struggling a bit with the arthritis or the hands, you can turn and place your hands palms up and then allow those to just rest in your lap. Sometimes that'll take the pressure off of the fascia and that'll help with the aches. Another woodpecker. Oh, yes, the crows. I've had a few of my crows coming through. The woodpeckers are always there. Felt that through my sinuses in my head. Beautiful. That's wonderful. Okay. Dislocated hip, though. That's brutal. There we go. Okay, now we're going to mirror that on the left arm. So we're going to do the same thing. It's going to be the left from the thoracics, which is the shoulders, right by the shoulder. So we're going from the spinal process of the thoracic through the shoulder blade on the left-hand side, top of the left arm. We're going to go over the meridians of the left arm, down through the elbow. Wow, somebody's been doing a lot of gripping with that elbow. It's kind of like a tennis elbow on the left-hand side. Just going to release that off, down towards Mother Earth, through the wrist and the hands. Wow. I don't know who's left-handed, but you have really been overdoing it. Again, place your hands palms up and just lay them gently in your lap. That helps to put your hands in the most neutral position, and also the rest of your arm kind of takes the pressure off of it. There you go. Okay. Now we're going to go down the back, underneath the shoulder blades, down the back to the lumbars. Beautiful. That's good. Woo! We're going to do just a little bit of extra pamper on the thoracics in between the shoulder blades, kind of lighting up the spine itself right now. Let's get some TLC to those bones. We want nice, juicy bones. Don't believe the propaganda of age. Age is ridiculous. It doesn't matter how old you are, quote, quote, quote. We are constantly renewing every cell in our body. You have the opportunity at any point to regrow absolutely anything. Years ago, they used to think that the brain could not regenerate itself, or that nerves could not regenerate itself. And they've discovered ever since then that, yeah, actually they can. So absolutely everything in the body is replenished, including your bones, which is where we're at right now. We're kind of working through the spine. And of course, some of the aches and pains that we're doing, we are going from a carbon-based body into a crystalline-based body, which can be a struggle. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to go down around the pelvis and the hip. Yeah, I see you. I saw the coolest thing the other day because, of course, my own knees on Saturday made me go look at the spinal processes over the pelvis. And it just hit me that the pelvis itself reminded me of elephant ears. It looks like an elephant's head, the pelvis does. And I thought, how beautiful. That's the seat of our ancient knowledge. Getting some wisdom through that. So let's just go ahead and send some extra to the right hip. Processes of that spine to the hip, ball joint, psoas, the iliopsoas, everything that just kind of holds us in space and place. Beautiful. There we go to the left side. Do the same thing. Give me some extra energy on that. Now we're going to go down the outer thighs to the outer knees, and then down through the calves and the shins. Has a lot of tightness there. around the ankle and the feet. Down through the feet. And we're going to come back up through the inner legs. We're going to come up through the inner feet, up through the inner ankle. Absolutely, Teresa Ford. You can hold this. She's asking, can I claim this healing for our friend Richie too? Absolutely. You can set the intent by just simply imagining the person. Hold them in your mind's eye. You don't have to do it hard. Just hold them in your mind's eye, and they'll be picking up on this. Paul, it's wonderful that you're picking up on the trees. They are huge wisdom keepers. And especially where you're at, some of those trees, they have a lot of information to share. Yep. Okay, we're coming up through the inner calves to the inner knees. There's some ting points in and around the knees themselves. This is weird. Do you mean the trees, Paul, or do you mean some of the people can feel this stuff? If you can't feel it, don't worry. You're not doing it wrong. You can feel it. But even those that can't feel it, don't worry, because your energy system is still going to be reacting to this no matter what. Yeah, that's why I call it out, because it can feel pretty freaky weird. Okay, we're coming up through the inner thighs. And we're coming up to the tummy. Okay. We're going to bathe all around the liver. Sometimes in our world, we'll express things where we're just really angry at the world. And sometimes that can be because you've had too many sinus tablets or too much caffeine. But other times it's just simply that you've just got too much going in and around the liver itself. It just needs a little TLC. So we're going to pamper that. You can also make a shh sound for your liver. Sounds kind of like the beach surf. You know, as the surf comes in, you can make that sound to your liver to soothe it. Wonderful. Okay, now we're going to come up underneath the diaphragm, pretty much where Tawahi, your solar plexus, is. And then we're going to come over to the stomach. And the spleen. There it goes. That's nice. Small intestine. And the large intestine. Gorgeous. And we're just going to move some of that energy around. So if you get tummy gurgles, it's just going to be me coming through. Just going to kind of do this nice and gentle today. There we go. And we're going to go up through the lungs. Okay, we're going to do some fizzy energy, diamond white fizzy champagne type energy, bubbling up through the lungs, scrubby bubbles. Good. Same thing from the heart. We're actually going to do it in and around the heart, around the pericardium. Just imagine a pale purple, like a lilac color, fizzing in and around the heart itself. You can change it to pink if you like, sure, or green. Let whatever color it wants to be, just go for it. There's somebody's coughing. It's okay. Better out than in. We're just trying to get the gunk worked out of your body here. Sometimes we'll have some of this stuff where the body just will not clear it out from that lower lung system, which is why I was trying to bubble it up from below. I'm just going to get that all out. Okay, let's go up to your thymus and thyroid. Yeah, it's probably hard. It's okay. Get the ting points around the collarbone. Oh, it's going to be okay. Sometimes you'll have trapped grief around that. Around the collarbone are lung meridian points, and sometimes we can have grief that gets tied to our lungs. So if you start weeping or crying, it's okay. There we go. And now I'm going to go up around your throat. So sleepy now. That's great. That means you're getting a reboot. Throat structure. Okay, I'm just very lightly going to go around the head unless anybody's got, does anybody have any migraines or any eye issues? Anything that you need me to focus on a little bit more? Oh, goodness, gesundheit, somebody sneezed. I think that was a cat. Oh, yeah, there goes the cat again. Well, better out than in, honey. And a third time. God bless you. You're welcome. That was quite a release for that person. Going to do around the ears, the TMJ. We're going to cleanse up and around behind the eyes. Sometimes there's pressure, especially late spring. We're getting a lot of junk in the ear, pollens, dust, gunk. Sometimes that can lead to an eye ache, but it's actually sinus cavities right behind the eye itself, irritation in the eyes. So let's just get that cleansed. Your nose may run. Your tears may run for your eye ducts because we're going to do your tear ducts right quick. We want our tear ducts running because that helps the eye itself to cleanse. Beautiful. Okay, for anybody that's sensitive, I'm actually going to touch around your third eye chakra, which is on the forehead, in and around the eyes and the brows themselves. Someone's got like a tension headache thing going. We just need to relax the eye structures. It doesn't always have to be that on. I'm hearing it, so I'm just going to relay it. Somebody needs to go and discover their settings. In the settings, there's a thing that controls the brightness of the display of your screen. And especially towards nighttime, you can actually take the screen and make it dim down a little bit. They're saying you're getting like a sunburn on your eyes that leads to some of the eye strain. So I'm in the brain itself right now. We're just kind of working all the way back to the hypothalamus, thalamus. These are the survival structures, your lizard brains. So the beginning basics of keeping yourself safe in the world, oriented in the world. Oh, this is interesting. We're going to go down the internal part of your spine today. We're going to go down the brainstem and down the spinal cord on the interior. And we're going to cleanse ahead as we go. Don't usually do this, but that's okay. We'll just zip right through this. Sometimes you can do this from the inside out. You're welcome. Okay, now let's bring your energy back up. Now the trees are quiet. Zings to your left rib cage. Annie Bear, sometimes that can be your tummy. Sometimes you can get displaced energy from your tummy, and it will do that. Teresa's left hand, please. Thank you for that. Sure. Wow. Well, Teresa. Getting quite a lot of movement out of that. Tell you what, we're going to do both. We're going to do hands and booties. So feetsies too. And then gloves for your hands, booties for your feet. And we're going to imagine just sliding into the softest ever diamond white light for the gloves and for the booties. And then for the person that had the dislocated hip, I actually put an energy pillow right into that hip socket to help ease in and around the bone structures for that. It's just extra energy for that area to support it. Mm-hmm. Wow, somebody's pup. Hang on a second. We've got a lower back thing going on. There we go. There we go. Cool. You like that, huh? Feels good. You're welcome. 11:11. Oh, my eyes were closed for the 11:11. You're welcome, Teresa Ford. Did I miss anybody? I've got my eyes open now, so I'm going to scroll right back up. If anybody needs any extras, kind of like Annie Bear did for me right there where it was really large. Okay, Teresa's, we got that. That is so cool, Paul. I love the fact that you can hear the trees now. See, I told you after you would see that UFO, I knew things would start popping off for you. So it's going to start in more and more. You'll be having things happening. You'll be able to hear things more, communicate more. The important thing is to know you're not alone. There are other people that are experiencing these things too. You are so welcome, Rush. Everybody's probably going to need a nap. I think I sent Carl to sleep. Hopefully his kitty went to sleep. Hopefully she feels secure. Woo! My dreams are clear. That's wonderful. You're so welcome. Yay. Okay, Annie Bear, how's your neck and your shoulder doing? Put people to sleep. Oh, you are so welcome. You are so, so welcome. Still sore. I'm sorry. Well, hopefully in time that'll ease up a bit. You'll go ahead and lay down. That's a good idea. If you can take a nap, you've got hiccups. Be sure that if you do any of the hiccups or the yawning, the tears, burping, passing wind can happen. Or the fun thing is sometimes you can have it where your limbs will start to stretch out into different locations. It's the energy that's moving in and out. So you can get yourself a drink of water if you've done any of that. And so that'll help to flush it. Do I have a sister? Yes, actually, I do have a sister, Paul. I have a younger sister. Yep, hydrate. It will help to flush it out. Feeling invigorated currently. Been napping over the. Yeah, sometimes it's a little hard to get the balance. There she is. Hi, Utica. Wawanui. Part of my spine isn't bone, it's a cartilage. Aw. Why is this? Annie Bear, sometimes with our body makeup, sometimes it will have different, like if you have in the Ayurvedic medicines, if you have like a Vata type body situation, you can have different challenges with the bone systems. How are you, Utica? I haven't seen you in forever. Yep, you're okay. I have an extra vertebrae. That's so cool, Rush. Very cool. You have ice water. Good. Okay, I'm continuing to do some of the energy work. Aw. Yes, you are. Absolutely, you are. You made it here. And that's just it. I can't always be on here at a time whenever other people can be. So if you're seeing this on the replays, it's still as active. The energy that's in here is still as active as whenever we're doing it here and on the replay. So if you have questions or anything, or like you've missed out, to begin with, if you have like a boo-boo or an injury or something, you can imagine the energy that I am putting out going directly to that space that's causing the trouble. And you can re-listen to this as many times as you like. That's quantum mechanics. You gotta love quantum mechanics because it's always in the now. Is my knee better? Yes, actually, my knee is much happier after doing this. It's not like I'm going to be, pole vaulting or something, but still, it's feeling a heck of a lot better than I did earlier. There we go. Actually, let's go ahead and go back out to our first slide then. Let's go back to our Lemurian Light Codes. This is an image from the Oregon coast. This is just a little further to the south of us. And it is some of our beautiful sea mist. That's called a marine layer that we have. Sometimes whenever it's really warm, it will cause the mist to form on the ocean, and it'll come in and cool things back down again. Thank you. Our Lemurian Light Codes. Grab some water myself. And that's one too. If anybody needs, you can always, if you don't want to leave me comments underneath, you can always contact me through wdement.com. There is a contact me form at the upper right hand side of the toolbar. Fill that out and send it in. And I try to get back to everybody within 24 hours. So you can certainly contact me privately if you wish that way. I love the fog too. I adore the fog. I'm not a high person. I whine too much whenever I get too hot. Plus, I just love the mist. I love the fog. I love the sea mist. I do too, and yet you're still in Florida. Yeah, but Florida has got some amazing seashells. Like, really a lot of seashells. It's incredible. I think all of our seashells just got picked off of our beaches out here. Although sometimes after the winter storms, we'll still have agates. That's much further south. That's around Bandon. Yeah, I love the fog. It envelopes and it protects. Absolutely. Plus, it smells good. I need to live where it's cool and have a hoodie. Yeah, I know, right? I can relate. Yeah, I was only in Florida the once, and yeah, that was plenty hot. Of course, it's different, in the Midwest. It's hot but humid. It's hard to cool off. In Florida, they had those. I'd never seen one before. They called them swamp coolers, where they dripped the water down in front of a fan to cool the temperature. And all I could think was that really would not work in the Midwest. But it does work really well for like the greenhouses in Florida. So way cool. Well, Teresa, you were from Oregon originally, weren't you? Yeah, it's humid. Is humid. We're currently having a heat wave, and we are at 91, 10 degrees above the average for this time of year. Really? Yeah, I guess it would be because you guys are in the 80s this time of year, wouldn't you? Because it's end of May. Yeah. Yep. Born in Salem. Thought so. Yep. Yeah. I was born in the Midwest, and it took me 2 decades to go and see the Pacific Ocean. And once you see it, it's just really hard to be away from an ocean. I've done it. It's just it's hard for me, especially the Pacific. I felt way too. It's interesting, Annie Bear, that you should say this. I felt way too exposed in the Dakotas, and yet I have seen some other natives that were from the Dakotas that could not stand being around a tree because they couldn't see. So it's very interesting to me how different people react or interact with different things. What feels comforting to one person in one situation can feel really ungrounding to another. Oh, inner knowing saying, I don't want to write too much because I'm listening as closely as I can, but I want you all to know how thankful I am for this family, and I love you, sisters and brothers. We love you too, inner knowing. You are so loved and supported. Yep. Wawa Nui. Much Wawa. Wow. DC. Rush, lifelong native of the DC burbs. I would imagine that's pretty humid in the summertime. Yep. Different points of views. Well, not only does it help us to resolve the conflicts, but it's also helpful to go, yeah, that's my wheelhouse. I'm comfortable doing XYZ. Yeah. Extremely humid. Oh, that's so cool, Paul. Gonna go see the Californian Ocean for the first time. Well, if you've never been around the ocean, just remember that you need to only go into the water if the natives are there. Like, for example, out where we're located, there is a strong riptide that is right off the coast. So when the people get out there, sometimes they go out in a riptide. I don't mean to terrify people, but what I mean is when you're there, just make sure that you don't go into, if you don't see people in that water, don't go into that water because the locals will know. Okay. So safety first. And if you've accidentally got into a riptide, keep your head above the water. It will carry you out, but then you can swim parallel to the shore and then it will weaken and you can come back in as well. People don't enjoy, yep. Other people don't enjoy the desert or the open plains. I love a temperate rainforest. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like this time through, I'm not a desert person. I'm just not. I know other people that just absolutely thrive in a desert. And I feel like I'm on an alien planet. It's very interesting, but I don't want to live there. And yet I've had relatives that live there. And again, they absolutely thrived in that situation. Aw, that's so sweet. Yep, the people who invited me to Sedona were so kind. So you've been out to Sedona then. That was an interesting area. The energy out there is just really incredible. Wildwood, what is this? Wildwood, New Jersey is on Friday. So you're going to New Jersey next. You're always so busy, Paul. That's great. Now, is Wildwood a, oh, you have a great week. Thanks, Lori. Thank you for coming in. Is Wildwood a band or something? Or is it a location? Looks like it's a location, maybe. Be careful with the bears. Yeah. Where there is a riptide, it will look like there are no waves. Yes, because the water is moving out. Yes, so stay away from that. Sure. Utica, we're looking at 285 still because we are still in the month of Totoroa. So it is supportive. Through May 28th. Here we go. Oh, cool. So that's another beach. That's the Atlantic. That's interesting. So it is a beach. Good. I'm glad. Taking it easy today. I know basically next to nothing about the East Coast. You're welcome, Utica. I've been sleeping listening to it. Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, and what this is the solfeggio frequencies. They're very supportive. Wild woods of New Jersey. Well, it kind of is. I've heard some strange stories of different places in New Jersey. Isn't there? There's supposed to be a triangle over there. It's kind of like an echo of the Bermuda Triangle, but part of it's in New Jersey, if I remember right. Light body activation codes coming in. Has anyone witnessed it? I personally haven't. I haven't seen anything from other people, but I do, Utica, I can speak for myself. This last week, there have been a lot of upgrades. Whenever I've been laying down to go to sleep, it feels like energy jolts. Be careful of the Jersey Devil. Devil the Jersey. Has anybody else had that? Where you're like laying there and then all of a sudden your energy system gets this boost? I wish I could translate it over to like doing chores and things, but it's kind of wild when it happens. It takes a bit to integrate it. You too, huh? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Nice to know I'm not the only one. Last night, now I feel lazy and sleepy all the time. I've had the jolts though. Utica, it might be that you're not, because I know for myself, a lot of this stuff happens at nighttime. Whenever it was first starting, the upgrades that I was having, it was really obnoxious. I got so sleep deprived. And of course, the beings that were coming in and that were working on me at the time, they're like, no, 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 go back to sleep. It was like, well, you could have helped me without waking me up. Okay, Paul, you have an amazing day and a great week. Yeah, I think all of the energy upgrades at night. I wake up like, yeah, yeah, this, what Rossi's saying. That's exactly what it feels like. It's crazy. It takes a bit, and then your energy system kind of does this weird high energy thing where you're going through that, and then it takes a bit for the energy system on you to integrate. Sometimes that happens around my heart space, and that is really, yeah, it's the same thing that's happening to Dolly here, where it's just a jolt and it's like this weird, someone uncomfortable moving through it. It is good. It is good. And it's articulating in your jaw and your throat as well. So it's also working on your throat chakra and as well as going up into Upo, which is your crown chakra as well as Tonaro. So it's crazy, but couldn't sleep, managed to doze, and then Dad called me on the mobile to wake me up. Isn't that the way of it? I love how people change for the technology of the times too. Yeah, feeling the same. Inner knowing, feeling the same thing. Well, I sincerely hope that this is, we're doing it a little bit at a time and easing into the stuff. I think it's helping us as we're going forward. I know everybody's like, whoa, we want to do the flash and the upgrade, but I think doing these smaller upgrades at night, it's helping because it keeps you from frying out your electrical system all at once. Slept like a rock star last night. That's awesome. He knocked, but it didn't wake me up, so he called the mobile phone. That's funny. Who was that? There was a relative that I had, and back in the day, it's one of the few people I'd seen that actually had a parrot. And I was just that the mom would use the parrot to wake the kid up. It was a teenage guy. And she'd yell at the parrot, and then the parrot would respond, and he'd just keep yelling at the guy until he'd wake up for school. Some low-key resentment towards the bird, but whatever works. He's probably still got PTSD from that parrot. Ooh, that's nice. I like that. I sleep with a sound bowl on the YouTube so I can calm my nervous system. That is a great idea. I do that a lot of times at night before I go to bed. I'll go find one of the, and that's funny too because some of those resonant crystals, because they'll use different resonant crystal bowls, and it's odd to me that sometimes they will sound good, and then other times they really are discordant. And all you have to do for that is just stop, back up, go find yourself a different one. Yep. Wonderful. Okay, gang. Well, I'm about to hop out of here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today and for sharing. It's been fun. I'm glad you liked my little slides. And I'm certainly glad that I could help you with the energy healing. Again, if you've got something going on where it comes back and it hurts or something, come back in. You can replay these. I'm going to be trying to put up some of the timestamps again so that you could just go straight to whatever technique or the energy healing that you want. There's one particular guy that sometimes has a cat out front. Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yes. I don't know the man's name, but I've seen this. She's talking about with the sound bowls. There's a sound crystal bowl, and he's got this whole bank of different crystal bowls that he plays, and he's got this tiny little seat in the front, and usually his kitty cat comes out and hangs out. Yeah, healing vibrations with the cat. It's fun. I have seen that one before. Okay, gang, thank you so much. And the resources are going to be in the pinned description underneath. And so if you want to work with me one-on-one, or if you want to look at any of the other offerings that I have, or ask me any questions, it's all through debbiedement.com. And I will try to put some timestamps up on that. And thank you so much for being with me this week. I wish you all a beautiful week. And have a very safe, if you are traveling this weekend, I think is Memorial Day weekend in the US. So if you're traveling with your family, be careful, please. I wish you safe journeys. And, yes. Okay, you understand it. Sure. Okay, gang. So Wawa Nui, much love to everybody, and I will see you next week. Bye.